there everyone, thanks to my new subscribers and to my old subscribers. Tonight I'm going to do the truth about his feelings pick a card. You choose a number 1 or 2. Oops. And the timestamps are in the description box below. What is the truth of his feelings towards my channel viewer? There's the truth of his feelings towards my channel viewer. Healing, passion, divine justice, music, hidden worlds, and health. It's a little bright. Just for a moment. Of course, if this reading resonates, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below with a link to my Fiverr account and my website. My website is a PayPal service, so you either send me the funds with a message or you just send me an email with an inquiry. My Fiverr account is a service facility, so if you have a Google login, you can just use that if you'd like a reading. I get the impression from these cards that he's very much in love with you. I feel that he feels that you're his twin flame and his heart has been simmering. His soul has been simmering. And I feel just presently that it's flared up. The passions have flared up. That's what it shows very clearly from the cards. I feel he's managed to obtain his justice, his personal justice, his systemic justice, and his divine justice, as the card suggests. So he's in a really good place. It's like everything that was wrong in his life suddenly turned right. That's how he's presently feeling. He's pushed down everybody in his life who didn't serve him. I get the feeling from these cards that he's really focused on his independence and he's focused on getting his true love back. That's what it shows very clearly. I wouldn't be surprised if he has some kind of interest in the unseen or something esoteric, something magical. He has an interest in it. It's like he's like Doctor Who in a sense. That's the impression I get. So he has a belief in soul contracts. He has a belief in the divine. He has a belief in twin flames. He has a belief that you must find your soulmate at some point in your lifetime. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's undergone some training in that area. And it shows very clearly that you are his sun, moon and stars. And you really are music to his ears whenever he hears your name, whenever he thinks about you. It's like you are his joy. You are his sunshine. And he's turning away from the deception in his life. He went through a cycle of deception in his life. Because I get the real impression that he was in a situation, quite a prickly situation, and he's managed to, just now, he's managed to ascend. I feel on your part there's a separation in your soul, and there's this physical separation. You've really been focusing on your weight loss goals. It says that very clearly. You've been focusing on your health and well-being. So I get the impression that you're self-focused, because all of those things take a lot of self-discipline. So it gives me the impression that you're focused on the simple things in life, but they're all about your well-being, your physical well-being. And he knows that. He's actually thinking about maybe taking you to a concert. So he's gone through his cycle of healing. And he's come out of it a better man. Because he can now see that there's going to be a successful relationship between you. I think he's just recently had to break the heart of somebody that intended to hurt him, but he's treating the situation with love, because I feel he has a firm belief, and I feel that's the way he wants to be fair to this person, because it gives me a real Three of Swords feel. But he's risen. He has arisen in this deck. So it tells me that you're his focus. And I feel you're the one that got him out of a sticky situation, something difficult. You had the answer to something, and he may have consulted you about his issue, and you've said something which has healed him in some respect, or he found the answer. It says he, in this deck, he found the answer by consulting with you. And I feel we've had a lot of readings lately where people are your men are metamorphosizing, and I feel he's just managed to get out of that cocoon, and he's now drying his wings. So he is now the butterfly. I feel his existence was justified when he met you. But it also shows his two loves. Like there seems to be this woman that hurt him with another man, and then there's you who didn't hurt him with another man, but he's showing a lot of compassion to his former partner or this woman that hurt him. I feel he's ready to strike if she said something against you. But she underestimated you as well, because you were her ultimate downfall. It's saying that he hasn't hurt her back, but he's definitely marked her as a person that did hurt him. It's just that his teachings or his understandings about life, which are very evolved, like he's high level, I'd say he's a high level spiritualist. So you would know that he works on that aspect of himself, and he's very evolved in that area of his life. So his intention isn't to hurt this woman back, but to show compassion to her. And I feel she has underestimated you. It also shows here that, I might have said this before, but the ex-partner underestimated you. Because it's like you're so uninterested, but you're always on guard. That's what it says. However, there are 3 women in this mix that are kept very separate from one another. But it says very clearly that you're his mainstay, or he's the person that he wants to develop something with that is solid. Because I feel one of these women holds regret, and she really believes that he will be after her, but I don't think that's the case. I feel though, from your perspective, you live a very simple life, and you don't want to complicate it with this man, but also I don't think you understand that he's managed to obtain his justice, his personal justice over a situation. Because it's like you've always understood you're one of 3. But I feel one of these women isn't really interested in having him back. I feel it's like a permanent separation, and she'd like to keep it that way. She loves him and she's loyal to him. It's just that she's supremely self-protective. And I really feel that she feels her destiny is something like with her spirituality, something like that. She's really independent and she has no intention of cohabitating with this person. The other lady in the situation has been marked as a heartbreaker of his. But because he has such a strong faith, I feel like he's a Reiki master or something. Like he has that skill. If you don't know him to study that, he has that type of skill. He could do it. Also shows he could be a medical doctor. He has some type of healing ability, but it's more like a natural healing ability. So I definitely think your person has the potential to do energy work if you don't know him to practice any type of energy work. He has that potential because it says that he's about to ascend to a higher plane of consciousness. And it shows in all of these depictions that you're his opposite. You're his joy. You're his balance. You're his well-being. You're his saviour. You're his success. You're his passion. But you also share that role a bit with another lady. It's just that, as I said, she's been caught out. So the respect isn't there. Because I feel that she's been dabbling in the underworld. I don't think she can't ascend like him. She has to stay where she is. It's just that he's showing her a lot of compassion. It's definitely like a third party situation dynamic. Even a fourth party situation dynamic. It's just that one of them women is totally disinterested. But he's a very singular fellow. So maybe you get the impression that he loves, but he doesn't interfere. Which might be problematic because you want to develop this relationship. But I feel you're at the point where you're turning away from it all. And you're separating yourself from whatever's happening. I feel you're happy for him. But your personal justice in this situation is only resolved if he is proactive about moving your relationship forward in the right way, in a more physical capacity. It says you understand it's a divine love. You're just at the point where you may not want to go back to it. because you've achieved your own ascension. But it's funny, I feel his ex-partner has moved on with another man anyway. But he's not blaming her for that. Interesting character though. Because it shows that he suffered some terrible betrayal. But it's like he's wearing it as a badge. And he's taken it as an experience. So he has a very large capacity to love and a very large capacity to heal. And I feel it's reflective of his spirituality, which is very deep, very knowledgeable. But I feel that his ex-partner, who did carry on with someone else while he was going through his healing experience, or this other lady, whoever she may be, is kind of stuck where she is. She hasn't ascended. He acknowledges there's something about the passion in that relationship, that it was good for a time, but I feel he felt that it was in his best interest to cut her off in order to ascend, in order to evolve. And it's kind of different with you, because he's seeing you as perhaps somebody who would ascend with him, but you're protecting yourself. And I feel the reason you're protecting yourself is because he has had quite a lot to deal with. But not only that, you've been self-focused. So at some point you just turned away because you want to be honest with yourself. You want to be true to yourself. This is what these cards are saying. You'd like to be true to yourself. And that's why just presently or into the near future, you will turn away from this man for a time. But it shows very clearly he has every intention of bringing you under his wings. So it's like he has every intention of pulling this thing together. It's just that I feel you'll be feeling a little bit defensive because of the difficulties he has had and the separation between you. So you haven't really understood his healing process, and that will be really hard for you to accept when he returns. Okay, so that was deck 1. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below with a link to my website and to my Fiverr account. My website is a PayPal service, So you can either send me the funds with a message, or you can just send me an email with an inquiry. And my Fiverr account is a service facility, and you need your Google details to log into that. So this is deck 2. What is the truth of his feelings towards my channel viewer? What is the truth of his feelings towards my channel viewer? Oh, here we go. This is looking exciting. A few of the same cards again. Okay. So I get the impression here that you've had some dark times actually. And I feel this is the love that has saved you. I get the impression that he feels that this is a divine love, but he's been involved with somebody that hasn't been all that nice. Somebody who compromised his spiritual task because she was really quite dark. I feel this situation ended because it was a third-party situation on her side where she was seeing another woman, and that didn't fit well, suit him at all. It didn't sit well with him. So he proceeded to pursue his own personal justice in the situation. And I feel he's getting back to his belief, his faith. I feel there could have been 2 women actually. There seems to be somebody he's divorced from or permanently separated because it was quite a long relationship. And he loved her deeply, but I feel the divorce encouraged him to get in touch with his faith again. So his intention towards you is to start again with you in love, to regrow something that's stable, because it shows here, it gives me the Ace of Pentacles feel where he's working at his career, but he's also concocting a plan to get somebody he deems to be his true twin flame or his true soulmate, one or the other, depending on what his beliefs are, because it shows that his belief is that you are a big love, and you know, it depends on how you would define that, but we're talking like a heavenly love. He feels heavenly love for you. He thought the woman that he was with was his divine counterpart, but she was a karmic, and she did pull him down with her into the depths. So I feel that These it shows like a permanent partner and a girlfriend or something like that. And he's had to basically break up or protect himself from both. And the reason he's had to do that is because they compromised his divine love. And his divine love was with you, because I feel that he knew of you, or you knew of one another before these two entered the scene, because they really compromised him. I feel he could have been quite manipulative when he was with these women. But he's won out in something. He's won out. If he's a divorcee or a fresh divorcee, he's won out in that. He's won something. He's achieved something in that. If it was just a separation, he's achieved something. So he really has fought hard to feel more like himself again. I feel that when he was with these women, he wasn't himself. Like, I really get the impression he maybe had some deep moods, some serious mood swings, and he was unkind with his words, and he could be a bitch like them. But that's changed because I feel like he got in touch with his spiritual side. That's the impression I get. And as soon as he did that, something changed in him. You know, it wouldn't have mattered if the ex or the partner or whoever she was got more than what she was worth, or in a material sense. And it wouldn't have mattered if he lost out. It's like when he took the decision to break away from these two, he found himself again, and that was the most important thing to him, to feel a sense of peace within himself. So it's like he danced with the devil, and then he found his true self again, and his true self was much higher in vibration than what these two were. So he was low vibrational energy, and he's just recently ascended. And we seen this in the first deck, so something must be happening planetary wise just at the moment, because we see a lot of healing in these decks. And it's great for you because he's now seeing you as a person that he could maybe develop something with into the future. Like, he wants something successful with you, very passionate, very loyal, loving. He knows he has to start from the ground up, so he knows he has to work on it. He knows it's going to be a fresh relationship again into the future. He knows he has to build on what you started together in the past, but he also knows where he stands in that dynamic, and it's no longer a third party situation or a fourth party situation, which it was before, because I feel the wife might have had a girlfriend and she's brought this woman in, but it was a share situation, so it was a bit odd, to be quite honest with you. And then he had a bright idea. It's like you showed him when you, at some point in the past, you showed him what simple love was. You showed him how life should be lived without complication. And he had a bright idea one day, and he just decided, oh, what these two were doing was, full of shit. And so he just released it, that seems to be the thing, because before, during this divorce, it was really quite acrimonious. So at some point he's just cut loose and said, I don't want the fight, I don't want the darkness, all I want is the light and my true partner in life. And quite suddenly he recognized that you were his true partner, because at some point you made him really happy in the past. And I feel you know what I'm talking about. You made him overjoyed with happiness. So he's broken up with those women, and that's what's led to him acquiring his personal justice. So into the future, he's going to be working on his divine love with you. And I feel he understands that it's quite fresh. It'll be new again. But he wants to have something very stable with you and very prosperous. So those are his feelings, his true feelings just at the present time. He's going to get the person that he should have been with all the time. That's what it says here. But also it says to me that you're protecting yourself against him, because you've made some realization that he's been dabbling in the darkness and you're not comfortable with it. Plus there's a separation between you. I feel there's a physical separation, so he's going to have to work hard. But he's willing to put the effort in, it says. Yeah, and it's a much more grounded emotion into the future. So before, I feel like it was a bit airy-fairy. You didn't know where you stood. You loved him very much, but it was like he wasn't going to do anything because there was a lot of uncertainty. But into the future, he grounds all those emotions, and the energy becomes very grounded. And that's what's going to see your relationship take off into the future. Okay, so that was deck 2. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my website details are in the description box below. That's a PayPal service, so you either send me a message with the funds or you can send me an inquiry by email. The other service is a service facility. It's called Fiverr, and you need your Google details to log in. See you next time.